What is going on, guys? My name is About Time Joey, and it is my pleasure to be welcoming you back to the official Marvel Snap YouTube channel, where today we are going to be shedding some light on Marvel Snap's newest card, the Lord of the Negative Zone himself, Annihilus. This interdimensional insectoid has dropped as a 5-cost, 7-power card with his on-reveal ability that reads your cards with 0 or less power switch sides. Those who can't get instantly destroyed. So right off the bat, Annihilus is amazing with junk decks. He's pretty much going to become their finishing card. You can pair Annihilus with cards like the Hood, Debris, and Sentry to shut down your opponent's plays early and flood their board with negative power. Or maybe you're just tired of the goblins bringing you down. Well, with Annihilus, you can return them to sender, no questions asked. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Joey, that seems like a pretty toxic card. I'm not really trying to spread that kind of negativity in my games. Is there any way that I can make my opponent smile with Annihilus? And the answer is yes to that, my friend. With Annihilus, it is now easier than ever to make your opponent's day by tossing them a free Iron Man, Cerebro, or Dracula. Now that strategy is sure to get the fist bumps flying. No one's that gullible. Okay, well, jokes aside, I feel like it's safe to say that Annihilus is going to probably be the staple card in every single junk deck from here on out. I mean, it's kind of fair too, considering that junk has really never had like a full finisher card before. This is going to be this card, all right? Even if you're not like a junk player, you are going to be seeing Annihilus in your games, because I think he truly does take junk from being kind of this deck that you could get annoyed by every once in a while and then move on and then match with Destroy or Professor X again. But now I feel like junk and Annihilus are probably going to see a lot more play in the coming months, just because now they finally have like a turn 5, turn 6 finisher to their game. But the thing about being a finisher on a junk deck is you actually have to fill the board with junk before you can really play him down to his full effectiveness. So we're going to look at some cards, we're going to look at some deck lists to maybe help Annihilus reach that full potential that he can. And also we're going to look at some counters to him, just because, you know, if he's hitting that full potential, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want him hitting it against me. So we're going to look at some counters, we're going to look at some deck lists, and then we'll get into some gameplay and see how Annihilus is really cooking. So first things first, let's get to some cards that Annihilus really synergizes with, all right? And you guessed it, I know I've said it before, I'll say it again, but it's basically just a junk deck, all right? You're going to want to build your standard run-of-the-mill junk deck around Annihilus, because that's the deck he excels in, all right? Obviously, you're sending cards over like the Hood, you're sending cards over like the Rocks from Debris. You're just going to want to try and fill their side of the map as fast as you possibly can. Usually, with Hood as your negative power card, you used to have to Viper it over. There's Viper. Now you don't have to do that anymore. You can just have him chill, have him just hang out. Or, I mean, you could Viper him, but come on. You're saving him for the fun, right? Cards like Black Widow sending this Widow's Bite over to their side. That's a free -1, baby. We take those. If you can flip the Void successfully and they haven't filled up their right lane yet, that's kind of just a free lane. Sentry, obviously going to be a staple in any time you're running Annihilus. He is Annihilus's best friend. I don't actually know like a lot of comic lore with Annihilus or Sentry. I'm sure they're pals though. I'm sure no one's going to correct me about that in the comments. Man-Thing obviously is just going to help out with those rocks on the enemy team. The Hoods that you're sending over. The reason I have Mysterio in here as well is just to send those illusions over. Again, taking up space, negative power if you can get Man-Thing on it. I think it's a worth it play, even though you are giving them the 4-power Mysterio as well. If you can kind of time it right, or maybe even have a place where that Mysterio doesn't flip over, like it's a flooded lane already, and so it just gets destroyed. Your call. I kind of thought that would be fun to slot in here. Obviously, if you wanted to be someone who doesn't like fun, you could put in Professor X or Eliath. I have Chavez right now just so we can kind of get the cards out that I need to get out. I don't really know how Annihilus is going to do with Destroy. I tried to kind of make a Destroy deck for Annihilus to kind of just play around in. Honestly, there's not a lot of options. I've talked to some other Snap streamers and stuff too about this. He shouldn't really be going in Destroy. I was one of the top 500 Destroy players in Marvel Snap last month, and I'm gonna be real. I know Destroy like the back of my hand. Annihilus just really isn't going to be in there too often. But, you know, here, if you can get that Debris setup, Killmonger setup, that's the thing, you're destroying those rocks, right? This could maybe even act as like an Annihilus counter deck. if you wanted it to, like if you're going up against a lot of Annihilus mirror matches, maybe play this one to get their rocks away from your side and get those deaths down turn 6 so that you could just have huge power and nothing to worry about as far as clutter. I also wanted to try something out with Hazmat. I figure you could come into this deck and embrace the void. If you can set up Wong, Hazmat, Debris, or even like a Wong Sentry kind of deal, if you can set up Zabu turn 2, throwing down Wong Sentry, having 20 power, or excuse me, negative 20 power going over to the enemy side, I'm just going to call that as a 1 lane. Okay, again, there's no way that anybody's surviving 2 voids on their side. Figure Sarah can go down. If he can get her down, have just a devastating turn 6. I feel like the main decks that Annihilus is really going to shine in are ones like these, just creative, hopefully you draw right decks, and run-of-the-mill junk. So now let's look at some of the cards that are pretty significant counters to Annihilus. Obviously, a lot of them are really good counters to junk. Starting off, Carnage. If you're going up against a destroy deck with a junk deck, you're already fighting an uphill battle, all right? You have Carnage, you have Deathlock, you have Killmonger. These are all going to be pretty big obstacles, all right? Like, if you're sending negative power over, or even 0 power over, Carnage is going to eat them, Deathlock is going to clear the lane, Killmonger is just going to clear the whole board, right? So these two kind of go hand in hand in making sure you're not having a lot of fun as a junk deck. We have Daredevil, obviously, just because you're mostly going to be playing Annihilus down on turn 5, and if Daredevil is working, is intended, I don't know if he is right now or not. If Daredevil is working, he's going to see where you're playing down Annihilus, right? You're probably going to play him down on turn 5 anyway. He might switch some cards over, you know, flood some lanes that you didn't want flooded, or even set up his big brother, Professor X. So Professor X is probably going to be one of Annihilus's biggest counters, okay? Because the thing is, if you can lock down the lane before Annihilus switches them over, they won't get switched over. All those rocks, all those negative cards will just stay on Annihilus's side, and it's not like he can destroy them because, again, Professor X. He's kind of just the counter to everything right now, it seems like. That's going to be a big problem for Annihilus. Obviously, turn order matters a lot there on turn 5. If you can send the rocks over before he locks it down, that's great. If you can't, if he beats you to it, you're kind of SOL. So moving on to Valkyrie, and I feel like Valkyrie is going to be kind of one of those cards that you have to watch out for and will probably expect if you see C3 coming. But obviously, if she makes all of your cards in a lane go from 0 power or below to 3 power, that's you kind of failed in what you were trying to do. Especially if she hits your Annihilus, making him a 3 power. That is just, it's way too big of a nerf. So honestly, Valkyrie could be something you want to watch out for. Could be something you want to play to maybe beat Annihilus. Yeah, she does good work. I feel like Valkyrie gets it done. So then we have these two ongoing boys right here, and Luke Cage is obviously going to be a problem if you're trying to run like Hazmat or Man-Thing and just trying to like shut down their lane with like negative power. Probably not going to be that big of like a counter, just something to kind of watch out for. Cosmo, another one. If you get sniped with Cosmo when you're trying to Annihilus on turn 5, you just might have to like log off for the day at that point. Like that would really suck. You'd be caught with your pants down, and there's a lot of rocks in your pants. So obviously, Cosmo shutting down the ongoing ability of either Annihilus, Debris, Viper. This is a fairly on-reveal heavy deck, and Cosmo obviously does not play nice with on-reveals. But honestly, the biggest counter to Annihilus is himself, Annihilus. If you play down Annihilus and then your enemy does the next turn, you're just gonna get all your junk back. So I'm expecting the mirror matches to come from this meta to just be hilarious, because it's gonna be like okay, if you can read the opponent, are they sending over more rocks? Are they gonna play it on turn 5 or turn 6 because you don't want to play it early, but if you play it down too late, it's gonna be a mind game. All right, I can't wait for Annihilus 1v1s. It's gonna be great because this card really does just kind of counter itself. Okay, but that is enough talking from me. Let's get into the action. Let's get into the annihilation, if you will, and just kind of take the Lord of Junk deck for a spin. Test out, I guess, just what junk with Annihilus can do. I'm gonna Mysterio, and then I think I'm gonna Debris, And we'll see if this guy has any room on his board left at that point. I've never actually thrown debris on Sinister London. It's probably not going to be a good idea for me either. He's going to go ahead and Scorpion my hand, taking my power down, but also taking Hobgoblin's power down.
From the Daily Bugle.
If he places down that debris first, we're kind of screwed. He has turn order here. But no way he's going to fill his entire side with rocks, right? No shot. Hopefully we can get 2 green goblins down. I at least think that would be... Okay, no. So Storm's going to go ahead, take that out of there. That hand is being aided. But honestly, I don't really think Storm does super well up against Annihilus here. Just because I'm placing negative power on your lane. All right, like let's be real. Sentry's going to go down here. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Don't like that Strange Academy is going to move everything, but it won't matter here in a second. Sentry's going to go over here. That is going to be 10 power and basically enough to put down this entire lane here if he doesn't place a lot there. Let's go ahead and just... Oh, they all shiver in excitement of being sent over. Actually, no. You know what? We'll throw him on Strange Academy. Chances of him going on the Flooded Zone. Why not? Hopefully him and Sentry split up, but that's okay. And also, okay, something that is interesting to point out. These Mysterios, and also... you flip first. These Mysterios will go before the Void goes, because I placed them down first. So the Void actually got destroyed there and didn't go over. And that's exactly because, like I said, because I placed Mysterios down first, they are going to go over in order of turn placed. So, I don't even need to do anything here, actually. This is kind of the dream Annihilus setup, right? You win 2 lanes, and then you don't have to touch the game anymore. Just because I want to, though, I'll go ahead, throw this man thing here, just so there's no surprises in what this guy could play. And there isn't. So that is going to be one good reason to snap before turn 5, all right? Because once you place Annihilus down and there's like no chance for your opponent to win, they're probably just going to leave. I mean, that's the smart thing to do. So snap before turn 5. But I mean, as you can see, this deck kind of just explains itself, right? You're loading them up with a lot of cards that they do not want. We want those cards because Annihilus is just going to blow them up anyway. He placed his Carnage down turn 2. That was probably the worst idea he ever could have done. We got the Kunlun buff too. Oh, this is a beautiful start to a game already. Shuri's Lab will be an absolute instant snap on turn 3 because Goblin on Shuri's Lab is basically just Hobgoblin, I guess. It's like a slightly worse Hobgoblin. But still great. Shuri's Lab, -6 power over there. Deathlock going down on both of them. He read the absolute hell out of that. That's a shame. Deathlock's going to pop up to 10. Widow's Bite going down there. Let's go ahead and throw Hood there so we can get a -6 Hood. And I suppose we should also probably throw Debris there as well because I don't want to. I want to have this open for that -6 to go over. I don't want to have that be full just yet, especially if I do send over everything next turn. Let's see, how's it going? Hood's gonna go down mid, which is actually great. He's probably gonna Venom here if I'm a betting man, and you know I am. So this should actually be safe to throw that rock over. There's a chance he throws something else there just to kind of screw me over. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's probably going to be Annihilus here. Let's try and beat that Venom. That I assume is coming down this turn. Playing a lot of Destroy kind of teaches you what to expect. He didn't... Okay. This guy doesn't play a lot of Destroy, I'm going to say. We're going to throw those rocks over. Aunt May's is just getting completely locked down. We are almost winning on this one. I think the win con here, and I don't know if this guy realizes it, is just going to be Demon. And it's just going to be Man-Thing. Man-Thing is going to debuff every single card here on Aunt May's. And we're just going to take those. Unless this is Killmonger. Okay, whew. I didn't think it was going to be. But you know there's always a chance. You know there's always a chance. That is a beautiful way to win that. Let's try out one of the other ones now because I'm actually curious to see how those two are doing as well. Okay. Forge and Deadpool in hand for this one. Great destroy start. Once again, not sure if it's going to be great for this deck. But we'll get some early power out on the board. Morag actually is great. That's great because if we can fill up these two sides, that dude's going to have like nowhere to place cards. So we'll try and go for that. I'll Deathlock here on 3. Angela's going down there, which is just perfect placement for my hood. We'll go ahead and... Oh, Asteroid. Okay, Asteroid isn't as fun, but it's not really bad. It's just not really what we're looking for. I really want to place this debris down middle so that I can specifically get 2 rocks over on these sides. So I'm going to go ahead and Deathlock here just to get these guys back in hand, and then I'll probably Deadpool next turn right on top of debris. Strong guy. What are these guys? What strong guy being played now? I missed the memo on that one, but that's okay. Deadpool goes back in the hand. Deathlock's gonna flip over there. That's fine. So is debris, and we actually will go ahead and flood this lane because of it on our side. But that's not gonna matter once Mr. Annihilus comes down on 5. And speaking of Annihilus coming down on 5, I didn't snap. Really silly that I didn't do that. Anyway, okay, come on. This has to be good. This has to have something cooking for it, all right? Annihilus going down here. There's 2 rocks to send over. There's a hood to send over. Hood gets sent over first. Rock gets sent over first. This guy can't play the game anymore. Now, did he completely, absolutely throw that by not placing anything that turn? Yes. Am I still going to take credit for it because it was my win and this totally isn't another bot? Yes. That's my win, ladies and gentlemen, and that is my 1 cube, actually. Again, snap before turn 5, folks. Okay, so this is actually a great start here. If we can get Zabu down, get Wong cooking, we can then immediately pretty much set up debris, double debris on this guy's on the end of this guy's board. This is shaping up to be a good one. I like this one already. Wong is going to go ahead and get discounted. Multiple man is going down. Is this maybe like a Phoenix deck? Hotel Inferno. I'm going to be real with you. I don't care. I see Wong, I see Debris, and I see Hazmat. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a snap. And now we wait. All I need now is to pull Annihilus. Man thing goes down. That's fine. That's more chances for me to pull Annihilus. We're going with Debris. We have Luke Cage, which is also a card that I'm going to be real. I totally needed. Rock's going down. All right. Hell yeah. Annihilus is top decked on 5. This is perfect, dude. This is exactly what we needed. Annihilus is going first here because I should be responsible and place him on Danger Room. I really want to be able to send those squirrels over, but it's kind of... I guess maybe I should have hazmatted on the Wong first. I guess next time I guess I'll think of that. But actually, it wouldn't have been a good idea because I think I would have sent over Zabu, Squirrel Girl, and many others if I had done that. So let's just go ahead and send the rocks over, destroy the ones that can't. He now has absolutely nothing on Danger Room. But I win there with a squirrel. So we take those, I guess. Now the question is whether or not I can win this one. I think, honestly, with Hazmat and Cage, I think we're good here. He does have turn order on this, so if he's somehow able to, I guess, like, shut down Wong, there's a chance. Heimdall is not going to do nothing. That's beautiful, baby. That right there is pretty. Victory. So there you have it, guys. Annihilus is definitely going to be a powerhouse card in any Junk player's arsenal. But outside of that, unless you're trying to make Cerebro 7 work for some reason, I don't think you're going to be seeing him too much in your decks. Guys, that is going to do it for me today. My name has been About Time Joey, and if you enjoyed watching me talk about Annihilus for 20 minutes, you can catch more of me down in the link in the description below. I stream Snap on Twitch almost every day, and I make variety content here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching, and it's about time I get you out of here. See ya.